Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? Actually, I should probably be saying good afternoon, right? Yeah, it's about 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, and today's date is June the 23rd. It is a Wednesday. It's going to be a beautiful day outside with 31 degrees with a thunderstorm as well. So maybe I'm going to get a chance to actually sleep in the tent here again tonight on that air mattress that I bought. So I'm really excited right now to be trading today. So what we're going to start off first with today is we're going to take a look at the macro picture for Bitcoin, looking at it on the slightly bigger picture and just talking about what's been going on from a technical perspective. And I think it's really important that I actually catch up to Bitcoin as well because I haven't really been following it that well on a bigger picture, more so following it on a small picture to see if it's going to positively correlate to a lot of the alts that I generally trade, right? So let's get on with this today, guys, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but just a quick general announcement. I opened up the Discord group there just for 25 minutes and the slots filled up fairly quickly. I allowed 25 people to get in by monthly and also 25 people to get in by yearly, and I realized the yearlies are not actually full yet. So if you are interested in my Discord group, it also comes with the trading course for free, but only the yearly subscription is available. I am not taking any more monthly subscribers by credit card or by crypto in any way whatsoever. No exceptions are going to be made. No matter what you say, I will not be getting anybody in. It's first come, first serve for only yearly memberships, okay? And the yearly membership goes for $500 American. And it also comes with the course for free as well. And the reason why the price increased is simple. There's just too much content, and I think it should be valued a little bit more, and I should value myself, and I should respect myself as well, right? The trading group has grown to a really nice place to have tons of content that's educational, lots of different channels as well that you can access, ranging from short lessons here that's written or by video under 10 minutes, and then there's long lessons for videos that are for just to teach you maybe a few skills here and there that you can pick up, right? So it's really important to have these short lessons and long lessons that will reinforce what you already know, okay? So then there's also lots of trading challenges. There's lots of live trading as well where I narrate every single trade of mine, not just the ones that you see on Twitter. We're talking about ones that are narrated for like 5 to 10 minutes that I only share with my Discord group, right? And there's about 200 of those. There's the channel that it will do analysis on what I'm trading for the day, right? Then there's the premium chat where we all end up communicating with each other here. There's a place for trading advice and frequently asked questions. There's a place for just general announcements, etc. as well, right? So I believe that for $50 a month, you're getting quite a bit of content, and I firmly believe that I do have one of the best, if not the absolute best, Discord group in probably all of crypto. Because one, I lead it, and I believe my skills a lot. I'm very confident. I study a lot on how to be a good leader, to inspire others, for people to raise the bar on their own. I want my presence for people to just feel like they're in a presence where they can really benefit and get some help, and they feel good about themselves, especially, right? So I'm opening up once again, only for a yearly membership, okay? If you're interested in it, just take a look in the description below. It will contain all the information. And I'm going to be doing it only by crypto, just to let you know, because LaunchPass registration is officially closed. So if you're interested in the yearly group for $500, that also comes with the courses itself. Make sure that you're communicating with me. Do not get scammed whatsoever, right? I don't post information in tweet replies or in comments here. You can only talk to me by chat one-on-one. So make sure that you actually confirm who you're talking to, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is get scammed, and there are a lot of malicious people out there. So anyways, it's now 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this video. I apologize for taking up a little bit of your time here. I'm just going to pause the video for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, guys and ladies, without further ado, 4 minutes and 30 seconds has officially reached the mark. So I want to start this Bitcoin technical analysis video. So let's start off looking at the bigger picture to see how this is trending, okay? The monthly picture right now, we're okay to look at it because it's now June the 23rd. And I think that for June the 23rd, it's all right to look at the month rather than just maybe a quarter of the month in, right? Just to review it very quickly, we ended up getting a doji candle here at the top, okay? So this Dragonfly Doji for the monthly is very symbolic of a trend and possible reversal, right? Because the bears eventually started attacking on the downside here. And because the bears started attacking on the downside, we are able to see that gigantic wick coming down, right? Bulls end up pushing to the upside again. Maybe they have tried near the end of the month to give it one more go, but the bears end up pushing them back down. And that's how we get the bulls and the bears fighting. And this is how a doji candle is formed. And after a doji candle, it could signal perhaps a pivot that's incoming. And that's exactly what ended up happening, okay? What ended up happening was we got a huge type of candle that bearishly engulfed the previous channel over here, okay? And a huge red candle because the last month ended up dictating that perhaps a pivot was underway. And because a pivot was underway, we ended up getting a gigantic red candle that came to the downside right here, okay? And it goes back up there. And this month, we might find some sort of stability. What I do know is that we might have gotten a double type of bottom here on the monthly, and now we might get a really large rally to the upside. It might be very much so long overdue. And I'm going to be ecstatic if we end up getting some sort of rally to the upside. So we are seeing some sort of support here at the $28,800 range. Here's $28,688. Here's $28,688. Here's $28,780. So these are within a $100 range, and that's almost 2 months in a row. So I'm confident to say that this might have been a reversal, and we might see a gigantic rally for the summer. And here we ended up reaching almost the 618, but not quite, okay? So Fibonacci Retracement is a tool, for those that don't know, that uses a ratio based off of the Fibonacci sequence of numbers. And this Fibonacci sequence of numbers, it's a very, very important mathematical ratio that it provides. The most important one is, of course, the 618, right? And it's also found everywhere in the universe, right? Ranging from the way our galaxy is spiraled, to the way our genes are shaped in our DNA, to the way our bodies are formed proportionally, to the way artists will naturally draw and architects will design. So it's found everywhere in the universe. It almost got to this region here. Whenever it gets to the 618, you definitely want to be very curious about it, very interested perhaps, okay? Because generally speaking, it has a high percentage to end up bouncing. But here we end up only retracing between the 0.5 and the 618, okay? So then now we're going to take a look at the 2-week. And what we see in the 2-week is a steady decline in the histogram, okay? A steady decline in the histogram just shows that the momentum is fairly bearish right now, okay? But it doesn't indicate that, it indicates that maybe in the next 2 weeks, we might get some sort of bearish run still, but it doesn't always mean that in those 2 weeks, we might not get some sort of relief rally, okay? So we have to see it from two different perspectives. Our side is very neutral. We're finding lots of price action that's ended up bouncing above the $28,000 range, okay? On the weekly here, we are seeing some tremendous bullish action right now. So we're seeing it for 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be the 6th week, right? If we end up holding here. And what I'm referring to is how we ended up getting penetration below the 55 EMA here, okay? And below the 55 EMA, what we get is just 1, 2, 3 wicks that go below it, and 3 other candles that dictate that as it gets close to the 55 EMA, it wants to bounce. So think of a moving average like this, okay? A moving average is simply, it takes a compilation, a sample of the previous 5 or 55 candles here, in this case of the 55 exponential moving average. And as it takes a sample of it, it makes like an average line, you can say. And then what this does is, the elasticity of the band, it wants to snap back to it usually, okay? It's kind of like the middle of 55 candles. The further it snaps away, whether it's up or down from these EMAs, the more it's likely to snap back to some sort of moving average, okay? Think of it like an elastic band once again, and if it goes too far, it wants to come back. And if it goes too far down, it wants to come back. Kind of like that. So here's a perfect example of how we end up getting to the downside here at the 55 EMA, and then we end up bouncing. We come down, get close to it, we bounce. Come down, bounce. Here we finally fell through it. Here it ends up forming some sort of consolidation, like a bearish flag, and now it snaps back down, snaps down, snaps down. And then here it wants to rally back up to the 55 EMA, right? That's kind of generally how I see it. And sometimes different time frames will exemplify better EMAs so for us to see. So for example, on the daily chart right here, we're seeing that the 55 EMA, sometimes it touches it, but a lot of the times it doesn't. There, doesn't, right? Here it doesn't. So we might want to move to a lower time frame, and a lower time frame might give us a better average of where all the 55 EMAs end up touching, okay? So here, for example, what we're seeing is we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, okay? 4 right there, and then we end up breaking to the downside, rallies like that, right? Comes down, and this one actually ends up touching it, whereas the other ones didn't whatsoever, okay? And because it didn't, we might not want to use that time frame as a specific reference for how this could react at the EMA, okay? So I'm just gonna pause it for 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some water. So we're seeing this moving average here at the 12-hour 55 EMA act as a very strong elastic band, right? So when we see something like the weekly here, just using the lower time frames as a reference, right? We see that it comes to the 55 EMA here, and then it snaps back. It snaps back to, so using the reference from the 12-hour, once again, we can easily say that once it gets to a 55 moving average, it tends to react, especially on a really big time frame like the weekly, right? And because we're seeing it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 weeks, so 6 weeks is 42 days, we can easily say that around this 55 EMA, we're getting a reaction. You guys hear that? It's actually my ice maker. I put one in my room because I'm too lazy to go upstairs. So we get this reaction here for about 42 days now. Well, I guess it's because it's only the 23rd and we have halfway throughout the week, so it would be 35 plus 4. So 39 days now, we've had a reaction that ended up bouncing above this 12-hour or the weekly 55 EMA. Not only that, we're starting to see a hammer type candle already. And this is the candle that we want, okay? If we close this week like this, right? So do you know the reason why? Just ask yourselves out loud, or answer to yourselves out loud. Why is this candle red? And what would the difference between a red hammer candle be that closed this week and perhaps a green hammer type candle? I'll give you guys a few seconds to actually answer that question out loud to yourselves. What would it mean if we closed this week with this type of candle versus a candle that was green and bullish? I bet a lot of people have never thought of this question before, right? Okay, let me help you out if you didn't get the right answer, but I'm sure that most of you did, right? Yeah, you guys all got it. You guys probably all got it. I don't even need to explain it. Never mind, moving on. I'm just kidding. I'll explain it now. Okay, so the difference between, so let's talk about this candle first of all, and let's talk about the story that it tells. And it does paint a really beautiful picture, doesn't it? Okay, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So this candle here, let's talk about how it's important and the story that it tells in this one candle with 2 lines in a body. It tells a story like any other language. In fact, this right here to me is a paragraph, or it could be even a chapter. Okay, so the way that I see this candle is, I see it as a bunch of people standing on the floor. Okay, they're standing on the floor, and the yellow line is the floor, right? But not only are they standing on it, but they're actually trying to push and break the floor and get as many people on this floor as much as possible, so it'll collapse the floor and maybe go to the basement. And there's so much weight on it, right? And there's so much weight on it, and there's so many people standing on this floor in this room that eventually what happens is the floor just breaks and they all fall to the basement. But little do they know, in the basement there's actually a gigantic trampoline, okay? And this trampoline right there, every single person, not only do they go to the basement first, but they also bounce off of this trampoline. And the trampoline is so powerful that it ends up not only bouncing them back up to the first floor, but it actually bounces them up to the second floor. Does that kind of make sense? So that's what I call a support at a 55 EMA. I see the bears making an attack, okay? And they've been attacking for a long time. They've been, if it was hockey, you know, they're trying so hard to attack, to score in that net there, right? And they try for 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, all together there. But they can only get so far because right now the bears start attacking and they scored a few times. They scored a few times for sure. And right now, the bears are still winning. But the bulls, after a really long game, it's now the third. First and second period is totally done already. The bears were dominating. But now, all of a sudden, the bulls in the third period, they decided, you know what, guys? We're actually going to start defending a lot. Not only are we going to start defending, but we're going to push them back into their zone. And we're going to try to make goals. We're going to try to score. Because the bulls have now had absolutely enough. Speaking of bulls, guys, rocking my new hat here. I'm just kidding. It's some dude's hat that came over that I don't like, so I stole his hat. Just being honest, right? So the bulls have started attacking. This is why they have a wick. This wick right here shows the story of how the bulls started defending extremely hard. They defended it with a gigantic wick. This one tiny little line shows a massive battle of how the bears pushed them so hard and kept scoring. But the bulls, they had enough. They said, it's time for me. It's time for me to make some goals. It's time for me to score, and I'm going to try attacking. So the bulls start pushing up, defending, and now the bulls are getting into the bears' territory. They're defending. But the significance of this versus a green candle is that this red one shows that it opened up the price right here, right? This is where, we'll just pretend that this is where the bears, this is where their goalie is, right here, okay? Their goalie is right there. And the bears are still pushing them down, but the bulls push back the bears, not close to the goalie, but almost close. Kind of like 2/3 to being able to take a shot. Does that make sense? 2/3 of the rig to take a shot. So if this closes like this, it just means that the bulls almost got to the goalie. They didn't quite score though, they're far away. But if this ended up pushing all the way to the top where the goalie is, and then it became green all of a sudden, that means that not only did they push up to the goalie, but they scored a few times, right? So that's the difference between closing with this red type of body candle versus another candle that can end up showing up green, right? So we only have about 3 days left in the week right now. But within 3 days, we still have a chance, okay? It's kind of like having 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left on the clock right now to score a few more goals, right? Maybe we can still win this particular one game of the 7-game series. Does that make sense? So right now, maybe they might lose this week, which is maybe the first game of the series, right? But maybe next week, which is the second game of the series for the playoffs, right? They actually might end up showing green and they might end up winning. I know a lot of you guys like sport analogies and ladies, so I'm gonna take some analogies up here where we can maybe all understand it as well, right? I'm not a sports guy, I'm only a Formula 1 guy, as you guys know, right? I'm obsessed with Formula 1, like, whew! You guys ever, like, hear one of those cars, right? It's like, it comes away from 500 meters away, and you don't know what's coming towards you, right? Well, you know what it is, but you get this uncertain feeling of nervousness because the ground starts to vibrate, right? And you hear this high-pitched turbine whirling sound that you've never heard in your life before. But you know it's some 1,000 horsepower, $250 million Formula 1 car, perhaps by Mercedes, that's just gonna rip down that lane. And when it goes through that lane, even though you're far away from it, you feel this wind tunnel and this draft of cold air and hot air combined that just blows through your face, right? And you're not sure what's going on, but it just feels like some device that's trying to break the sound barrier, and you just feel this wave of energy passing by you. You guys have to go to a Formula 1 meet if you've never before. It's pretty fucking crazy. So anyways, I'm gonna try to go to one in Australia. That'd be really nice. They were gonna have one in my city in Montreal, in Montreal, in my country, but they ended up canceling it for COVID. Anyways, back to this right here. I don't want to go off on a tangent. So right now we're getting some really nice price action bouncing above here, okay? And I would do the whole Elliott wave shenanigans, etc. But in my opinion, I don't think it's too necessary when I want to focus on some specific things that a lot of people will all grasp the concept of. And if you're unfamiliar with a lot of these things that I'm talking about, and a lot of people may be or may not be, depending on what you decide to study, how far you are in the game, right? What your kind of knowledge so far. There's a lot of factors. So I want to keep things very simple, so a lot of people will be able to relate to my technical analysis. And if you are unfamiliar with a lot of these things that I'm teaching, and or I'm showing you right now, and if you're interested, definitely pick up my course, guys. The course is in the website below here, and if you want to join my Discord group, once again, where I focus on education, go to my site below at www.philocone.com, and then you can take a look at what the syllabus is. You can take a look at what the Discord group offers as well. And the Discord group is only available for yearly members, and normally it's $50 a month, which is $600 a year American, but right now it's on sale for $500 American dollars. Not only that, you also get my $450 course for free. I think that's a really good value. A lot of people have said phenomenal things about it. It's definitely one of the most reviewed and revered courses available for anything in the stock market, in my opinion. I think you have I think I've put in a lot of time and effort to develop a very systematic approach to learning. It's very clear and concise. It's explained in a way that's entertaining. It's also captivating, in my opinion. It's very inspirational. It's very motivational. And not only that, I think you have a really good teacher and mentor here in front of you that can definitely show you a lot of the ropes and especially answer a lot of the questions that you have. So please do consider picking it up for $500, and you get, once again, the yearly subscription to my Discord group and the course as well. And keep in mind that this is only going to be opened until July the 1st, okay? After July the 1st, it is going to be closed indefinitely, and the chances of getting into my private Discord group that everybody wants to get into right now, it's going to be pretty hard, guys. So I think right now, this year, it's really good for you to invest in yourself, right? You have to see it as tuition. Don't think of it as money spent, guys. As like, fuck, I'm throwing my money away. It's not like that. You're investing in yourselves, right? You have to put in the tuition. You have to get these books that are on the shelf. You have to pick up the books. You have to open the books, and you have to read the books. And make sure that you can buy all the content in the world, all the books, all the material, all the educational stuff. But if it's just gonna sit there on the shelf and you never pick up the book, man, it's not a problem with the content. It's a problem with you, right? So you gotta make sure that you're putting in that effort as well if you wanna focus on getting good at this game. And remember that this is the most competitive market in the world. You're not just gonna go in there blind. You're not just gonna play $100,000 in the market and expect to beat a guy like me. Because keep in mind that you're competing against me. We are all direct competitors, and if I lose money, it could be going to your pocket. If you lose money, it could be going to mine. There's a finite amount of money into this market and market cap in any type of market, right? So that money, it's just a transfer of wealth, right? Usually from the rich to the poor, to the skilled to the unskilled, right? So make sure that you're investing in yourselves. Play very, very little. You don't need to have the mindset of I need to have a lot of money to make a lot of money. You need to have the mindset of I need to learn how to trade first, because there are wolves and there's sharks out there. You know what they say? The bulls make money, the bears make money, but the pigs get slaughtered. And you don't want to be one of those sheep, right? And the sheep get slaughtered. So make sure you're not just following people on the internet blindly, listening to them. What should I buy? What should I sell? I need your advice. Tell me what to do. You need to be one of those people that are going to lead by example, by investing in yourself first. I'm not trying to show my course or anything. I think we all know that my courses sell themselves because I do, right? I think I do a phenomenal job of leading my group, and my reputation, it speaks for itself, right? Not only that, I hold myself in high regards because I have proven it through sheer discipline. I work 16 to 18 hours a day. I'm here every freaking day with my group, and I have an undying passion that can never be satisfied in the crypto market trading. So pick up my course, guys. Don't ask yourself why you should. Ask yourself why the fuck you shouldn't. And this is the last month that you'll be able to access my Discord group, and I'm done showing it this entire video. It won't be brought up again. I'm sorry, guys. Back to the course, okay? Sorry about that, everybody. Whew! I feel like I kind of motivated myself there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, whoa, that gave a really good pep talk, guys. Was that a good talk? That was like on the fly. You know, I gotta have a drink to that advertising video of mine that I just did, right? It was kind of subtle, but really aggressive, you know? Just been practicing a little. I'm just joking, guys. I'm fucking just joking around with you. Not really. I'm just kidding. So, I want to share some really bad news for you guys. I really do think that Bitcoin's going to go to zero. And you should probably all just sell everything. I'm just joking. I'm just fucking around, guys. Okay, so now let's get into some more interesting things. Okay, do you know what I call this right here? I call it the Y curve. I made up this strategy, and because I noticed it one time when I made a fuck ton on Wi-Fi, if you guys remember. You know, my dog is really cute. Okay, you guys all know Luna. You guys gotta stop threatening to kidnap her. You know, so Luna, she's Asian, right? She's an Asian dog, of course, because I'm Asian and I'm her dad, obviously. She's half Pomeranian, half Yorkie, and half Laotian. You know, you can't be three hands, make a hole. So she's kind of fobbish. Do you guys know what that means? It means like you're flipped overboard. So her English is kind of broken. So whether you say to Luna, high five, or sci-fi, or Wi-Fi, she'll just give you a high five no matter what. She's like, oh, sci-fi, oh, Wi-Fi. That's kind of her. So this one's here, it's called the Wi-Fi curve from the actual token, Wi-Fi, okay? And what's really interesting about it is it taught me something about RSI. And RSI, it does not lie. And usually when it goes so low, it has a chance to break up high. That's what it means. So this is called the Wi-Fi curve. I like it on a 12-hour. It's really, really pretty. You guys are going to see what I mean. And I really hope that I've taught you something new here, okay? Let's go to here. No, it's not in the perps. It's just in the traditional USDP because it's so OPP. Yeah, you know me. I love the Ontario Provincial Police. So here's a 12-hour, okay? Actually, let's go to daily. Okay, here's the daily chart, okay? Now, let's take a note of how this looks. First of all, there's two types of structures, okay? I'm just going to draw it on paint because it's easier. You know, this is where I Photoshop all my profit, guys. Now I'm looking for a video editor to Photoshop and video shop my profits there too. So this is what I like. This is called, think of a cave and a U. This is called a concave shape, okay? This is called a convex shape. And they all stem from the equation of, I forgot what the fuck this one is, but just this half right there, mathematically, it's y is equal to e to the power of x because it becomes a it reaches like an asymptote and just parabolically goes up to the top, right? So if you notice something about here is it starts off like that first on the convex shape, and then it goes parabolically upwards. Whereas if you see something like this, where it curves like that, there's a good chance it's going to reverse and go the other way, okay? And I call this the Y curve, the Wi-Fi curve, okay? Because when you see something like this, right in here, eventually it's going to turn into that. And I didn't know this. I'm pretty sure I fucking invent strategies that just work because I have a knack for systematically approaching things with the logical deduction and a process of reiterating and fixing it to make it better. Do you know what I mean? It's like a process of like trial and error. I think it's a combination of the math background and my engineering background, right? Math just makes me, you can't argue with me, I'm always right, you know, like life is nothing but an equation. and the engineering part of me makes me want to fix things. I've always been like that since I was a kid. So I've discovered this little Wi-Fi curve, which is really, really interesting because it becomes like this, right? And then eventually it wants to snap back up to a concave type of shape, but it doesn't actually do that. It actually just, boom, goes to the fucking sky, right? Do you see that? Do you see it? I've seen this everywhere before. And now I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin and we're going to talk about that, okay? Do you see this kind of right here as well? It's kind of making a structure like that that's very, very similar. But this part here is condensed. Now let me break it down for you. Just break it down, guys. But break it down. So you see this right here when I go through the middle? It's a little bit more linear, but you can see exactly what the fuck I mean, right? It's possible that we're gonna get a short-term rally for the next few days. And if we do, congratulations everybody, we're gonna make a fuck ton of money so we can do things with it like buy drugs. I'm just kidding, guys. Yo, by the way, I need some of you guys to donate to Luna's alcoholic fund, okay? Because you guys know she's got her own crypto wallet, right? And you know she's got a bad problem with drugs, and it started from when she was really young. It probably was my fault, you know, like heroin, the hard stuff. And she also has an alcohol fund. And her and I decided that it'd be better for me to get donations from you guys to feed her habits rather than her dad giving my own hard-earned money to feed my dog and her habit. I'd rather you guys take care of her fucking bad habits like drugs and alcohol than what kind of dad would I be if I paid for her drugs and shit? It's probably better for you guys too. So if you guys ever wanted to, I don't need your donations. It doesn't come to me, just to be clear, okay? But I would really appreciate it if you guys started donating to my dog's alcohol fund sometimes. You know, just a few dollars here or there. She's only 7 pounds. Doesn't need much. Tiny little Mickey. Lasts her like a few hours. She's actually doing really well. Did you guys see the costume of her in that little dragon outfit? Because my friend in Turkey, where she's got like an iguana. And so Luna's like, I want to become a fucking dragon. No, look at me. I want to become a little iguana too. She's fucking adorable, that dog, man. So anyways, so the 3-day right here kind of faked out, okay? Sorry guys, I'm getting into a kind of slightly comedic mood right now after 30 minutes. Shit. So here we tried to break to the upside, but we got rejected kind of so far. One more wave to the downside here, and now this particular week is starting to show the hammer, right? So I'm starting to like this Wi-Fi curve. Just to wrap that up quickly, here we're kind of seeing it as well. On the daily, we might have seen it already, and it's snapping up, right? So we're starting to see an RSI resistance here as well that's starting to form. So if we see this RSI resistance starting to form, we can easily say that, hey, 1 point, 2.3 points, maybe even a fourth point there that almost reached it. And if it did almost reach it, we can clearly say that from this January till now of this year, if it does break above this RSI resistance, then we will now be in a short to medium term bullish trend, right? A bull market. So right now we've had a major decline for whatever reasons, fundamentally ranging from Elon Musk not accepting Bitcoin as a major payment system anymore, or you know, this news in China, so much shit fundamentally. But do I really give a shit? I'm just a degenerate day trader that looks at charts all day, and I don't know how to read. I hope you guys all know to never send me a long message, because I don't have the attention span, right? You have to talk to me like I was 5 years old with that type of attention span, because I'm just gonna be like swirl, 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 swirl everywhere, right? So you have to really be respectful of my time, because I'm not gonna read like a novel, you know, I'm just being honest. Just like how I don't read fundamental news, because I just don't have the attention span. I need to look at something shiny and pretty every single day, and charts got like 50 different time frames, right? So with 50 different time frames, I can like just, whoa, look at that, this is doing this, no, this is doing that, this is so awesome. There's a big green candle right now on the 5-second chart. Oh my god, everybody, look how bullish this is right now. Look how bullish this is on the 5-second chart. Look how much this rallied. It rallied a whole 1.9%. Holy crap, I gotta look at this more. Look at the volume, it's so intense. That's kind of like the mentality of every single person that just got the 5-second chart. That's kind of new. They're just like staring at the 5-second chart. They're like, Elliott waves here, Elliott waves there, lines here, lines for you, lines for everybody. If that was Oprah, she'd be like, lines for you, lines for you, lines fucking everywhere. So I'm not talking about drugs, by the way, okay? I'm talking about like just new people when they first get the seconds chart and how into it they actually are, right? It's kind of funny. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. It's been about 33 minutes already. So let's wrap it up with a good summary, okay? I'm more so talking about what happened, and I'm not making any predictions, as you've noticed, right? So what I'm really firmly thinking to myself right now is that if this weekly candle closes one more week right here up until Sunday, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 more days of closing. If we close 5 more days bullishly with a candle like this, we next week have a chance for a major rally. And if I had to predict something, if we close right here, there's an if we close right here, then we will get there. And then the other statement goes, if we get there, we must close here. This is called an if and only if statement in mathematics, where it needs to be mutually respected, and you can say both of them backwards, right? For example, if we hold right here, then we will rally to possibly here, right? And then I can say backwards, right? If we rally here, then we must hold here. Does that make sense? So these are arguments that are if and only if statements, where the A and the B can be reversed, if that makes sense. Because the way that I see trading is very mathematical from the perspective of this can happen if that happens, right? So here, even though I studied math for 3 years, I don't remember shit, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But the main skill that it gave me was the ability to logically deduce things from a very systematical approach, which is very similar to engineering as well. So maybe I lucked out with 2 amazing professions. Maybe I should have, no offense to anybody, but I don't think an English degree will help you trade. I don't think a fucking business degree will help you trade. I don't think an economics degree will help you trade, okay? But maybe economics because it's teaching you how to critically think a lot, right? In my opinion, I don't think like, you know, studying something like psychology will really help that much either, to be honest. Even though trading is very psychologically based, I think fields where it forces you to critically think from kind of where like physics will help you a lot. Like any type of math background, I think helps a lot because it teaches you how to really think outside the box when it comes to logically deducing things, right? I'm not trying to knock at anybody, but it's just my opinion. I don't mean to be rude. Sorry if I am. Art background! I'm just kidding. You guys know I'm pretty fucking rude as well, right? So here, if we hold here, that there's a really good conservative chance that we'll actually end up getting to like, at least 40K. But realistically, we're probably gonna end up trending to about the 0.5 Fibonacci level. So in my opinion, there's a strong chance for us to trend to that 0.5 Fibonacci level at $47,000. That's going to be my guess if we hold here. If we do not hold here, okay, there's the if we do not hold here. So we're going to talk about the opposite side as well, because I think that any good trader will always evaluate exit scenarios for worst case scenarios, because we can't just say to ourselves, oh yeah, it's going up, and then we're so bullish on it that we forget how to protect ourselves if something goes wrong. So right now, the way that I see this is that if we do not hold here and we end up falling below like the $28,000 range, big whoop did he fucking do. The lowest we'll probably end up getting is to the golden pocket range, right? Oh, sorry. The possible range is the golden pocket, and that's between the 25,400 to 27,400 range. Okay, if you guys are curious how to get the golden pocket on there, let me show you very quickly, okay? Just choose any random field that's unchecked, right? Because I only keep a certain amount checked. Check it, type in 0.65, make it yellow because it's a golden pocket, and just click on OK. And what the golden pocket is think of it like a safety net below the net. So the net is 618, and then the safety net is 0.65, right? The one below that. So think of it like, you know, those trapezes people that are like on, you know, they're swinging at a circus. There's a net, and then there's a lower net. And then if the first one fails, there's a little bit of a second safety net. Not that strong though, right? Because the first one kind of broke the fall already a little bit. Then the second one, it's kind of just slightly there. It's not that strong. There's still a chance that you're going to slam on the floor. You know what I mean? The second safety net may not hold. You don't fucking know. You might still die. And then the second one, right? It may not hold, but the second one might be just good enough as a support. So think of the golden pocket like that, where the golden ratio is a first safety net, and if it fails, there's a small net right below it at the 0.65. It's only a 3% lower, right? But that 3% might be just enough to catch it and then launch it back up, right? So if we end up falling below, honestly, I'd say if we see ranges like 31,500 again, there's a good chance that we'll get to 27,000, like this range right there. I don't want to say all 5 digits. That range right there in the golden pocket. But if that does not hold, and if we end up capitulating, capitulation is a word that a lot of people use but may not know the meaning of it. It basically just means that the bulls have given up, right? It's not just saying that the bears are winning. It's basically saying that the bulls have given up entirely and the bears have major control, and there's going to be a big downtrend because the bulls gave up. That's the simplest terms that I can describe it. So if there's capitulation, where we end up getting large volume and it does not look bullish at all, where we're starting to parabolically go to the downside, like I talked about earlier with the concave shape. Let me just show you the concave shape again, okay? So that's a concave shape. Think of a cave door. So if it starts to parabolically drop, it would be this particular half of that. So that one right there is something you don't want to see. But if we start to see it sloping more and more, then what's going to happen is there's a good chance that we're going to just fall right through this golden pocket and probably end up hitting the $17,000 range. You guys might not want to hear. Actually, sorry, I'd probably say 20,000 first. Yeah. Sorry, I keep forgetting about. That's impossible for us to get 17,000, guys. I keep forgetting. Let me back. I almost caught myself making a mistake. Do you guys see that? Usually I don't catch myself making mistakes, right? But fuck, man, I do make mistakes too. How the fuck could he get to $17,000 when $20,000 right here was an all-time high for 3 years, right? How is that possible? Not possible. It's fucking not possible for us to break through 20K, guys. Not the first time. Therefore, if we break below the golden ratio or the golden pocket, there's a good chance that, which is between this 27, 28K, there's a strong chance that we're going to get to the $20,000 level and probably get the biggest bull rally that we have seen in a very, very long time. So that's my prediction right now on the bullish side and on the bearish side, and I'll be sure to give you guys an Elliott wave analysis perhaps later in the afternoon today. So thank you very much for joining me for this episode. It's been a very long video already. It's been about freaking 45 minutes here. I'm a little bit off today, so don't mind me. I'm a little bit tired, put it that way. Very distracted as well because I'm thinking about my vacation a lot. I can't wait to see a lot of you guys. Can't wait to go to Turkey. If you're watching this video, I have a friend. I have a friend in Turkey, and he's a really nice dude. His name is Draco, and he's an iguana. Actually, I really want to go meet this iguana, if you know what I mean. It's like it's literally an iguana. Just to let you guys know. Like, I'm not saying anything about anybody, but I'm super excited to meet this really cool iguana. Luna's very inspired by it. By the iguana. She even bought like a little iguana outfit that you guys saw. So so anyways, thank you very much for joining me once again. I hope that it has provided invaluable insight, and just, you know, getting different opinions are very important. It's kind of like people who only watch the news in one channel, you know, not really the best source of information. It's always good to read things and learn things from multiple different sources to gain different perspectives. This way, as an intelligent person that I know you are, you will be able to gain insight on from various opinions, and this way you can formulate your own opinion, right? I think that's what intelligent people do. They don't listen to people. They make their own opinions, right? And I think that this video is a good way to gain insight from a professional trader, you can say, or analyst, and then just keep looking at a lot of others, maybe compare it to yourselves, to others, and go from there, right? So I hope it's helped in one way or another. And just as a reminder, guys, pick up my course, pick up the yearly subscription for $500, guys. It's a really good investment in yourself. I don't know a single person that's ever said, holy crap, I really regret signing up for Philicon's Discord group, other than a few months ago when I wasn't around a lot. Holy crap, I regret this Discord group and I regret getting the course. Said no one ever. I think the course is just phenomenal, and you guys are gonna definitely appreciate investing in yourself before maybe losing more money in the market, right? So pick it up, and I'll see you guys in the Discord group if you sign up for the yearly subscription. Otherwise, I'll see you very soon in the Discord group itself if you're there already, or on Twitter. Bye guys, have a great day. And this is the only video you're gonna get from me for the public. Now it's time for me to focus on the people that matter, and that's my Discord group. Okay guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.